Super happy and grateful, excited to be before you this evening. I'm Mr. Kingdom Cat Charles Dyson, reside in beautiful Atlanta, Georgia. Go ahead and drop in the comment section in the chat where you are from around the world. We are all over the map tonight, right? Go ahead and drop in the chat where you are listening in from. We got Florida in the house, right? We have San Antonio, Texas, Pittsburgh, PA, Northside Pittsburgh. He said, put some respect on it. All right, the Bermuda. What's going on? We out of Bermuda, Stone Mountain, GA. What's happening? Right? We are out all over the map, right? And I'm super excited to be before you guys right now. We got Stockton, California, California love in the building. We got Southern California, right? We are all over the map. Oh, we are in the Bahamas tonight. That is wonderful. That is wonderful. Well, listen, we got an amazing treat for you this evening. If you're in the movement, you already know what's going on. It's a lot of excitement bubbling, right? We got Louisiana in the house, right? But if you're in the organization, you already know what's going on. If you are on the outside and you're here just to be a fly on the wall to see what's going on, ladies and gentlemen, you have stumbled upon something so phenomenal. Lives around the world are being changed, and we are excited to share this information with people. This is the Just Run call, right? That is designed to show you how to build a successful at-home business through one of the greatest opportunities on planet Earth. I Am Mastery Academy. Ladies and gentlemen, we educate people on how to make money from a phone even while you sleep, and we get paid to share that valuable information with other people as well. And it doesn't matter where you are on the planet, you can get involved. And on this call tonight, you are going to get amazing skills, training from an individual who actually retired himself, retired his mother, retired his father, and his grandmother before the age of 30. Where they do that at? How does that even work? How does that even happen? You know how that happens? That happens when you have access to great information. That happens when you are a person who is humble, a person who recognizes that there's always another level. This gentleman that you're about to hear from has a ton of success in his own right. He is my wife and I's personal seven-figure mentor, and he's also helped countless individuals go ahead and hit the six-figure per year mark, right? Helping countless people walk away from a job, right? And never have to return before the age of retirement, way before the age of retirement. In fact, he's done it over and over again, helping people retire in less than 365 days. And that's what our global organization is about. This gentleman, right? This gentleman is the brainchild, the visionary behind the Retired in 365 organization. He has a heart of gold. I've seen him serve at a high level 4 years straight. Since I've known him, all he's done is give his time away to other people to show them how to get in his position. He's selfless. He's helped countless people around the world. And ladies and gentlemen, not only that, but he's a servant leader. He doesn't just tell you what to do, he shows it by example. So ladies and gentlemen, if I were you, I would have a pen and a piece of paper. I would take copious notes. I would literally, everything that I put on that piece of paper, I would take action on it. Why? Because this is the information that changes situations. This is the information that can help you walk away from your job. This is the information that if you choose to apply it, can change everything about your life financially, not next year, not 5 years from now, but this year, right? This month, right? This quarter, right now. I want you to understand that there is so much excitement within the organization because something big is going on. Something big is happening. And until you get excited about it, ladies and gentlemen, things are going to remain the same. But tonight, you're going to get the information that you need to apply, right? The information that you need to apply to start elevating your life financially. So I want to step out of the way of greatness. You're not here to hear from me. I want to bring up the individual that's responsible for changing so many lives around the world, right? This individual that I'm blessed to have, access to. This individual who, never ceases to amaze me. Love is love, my brother. I am super happy and grateful, right, to be connected to you. Thank you for what you do. day in and day out, right? And for what you do for the whole entire organization all over the world. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I want to step out of the way and introduce Mr. Top 5 Lifestyle, Harris Simmons. Are you there, my brother?
I can hear you loud and clearly, my brother. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. It is on you.
Awesome, awesome. Let's go ahead and drop the fire emojis in the chat for my guy Charles Dyson. I appreciate you. I love you, my brother. Also, I want to make sure, are we recording? I want to make sure that we got this recorded. But guys, we are fresh off of the Dream Convention, right? Keep the fire emojis in the chat for the Dream Convention. Keep the fire emojis in the chat if you were at the Dream Convention. And also, before I get started, today we're going to be talking about building, right, a brand, right? And if you even want to take it there, $1 billion brand. So it is important for those who want to do that anybody connected to you is on this call. If you have anybody inside this business, they need to be on this call, whether it's IBO customers, whoever's connected to you must be on this call if you have serious ambitions of building and creating a brand, $1 billion brand at that. So I want to take a moment and think about the hundreds of people that got access to Microsoft, Amazon, Bitcoin, Facebook early on and didn't take advantage, right? Drop legacy in the chat, as a matter of fact, for my guy, Mr. Kingdom Cash, and the lovely Mrs. Christina Dyson. Ladies and gentlemen, what they just released on a Monday is going to change everything, right? Going to change everything. So when I look at my topic today, I'm actually going to piggyback off of that. So let's think about those people who got access, but they didn't take advantage, right? Because there's going to be people on this call who in 5 years can look back and say, because I did every single thing that I needed to, right? Because I believed the way I needed to, but because I was committed the way I needed to, my life is completely different right now. My life is completely different because you got to think there are millions who don't know about trading. There are millions who don't know about e-commerce, right? Millions on millions on millions on millions of people that have no idea about this, right? But as the years go on, as the times go on, as the decades go on, as more generations come, more and more people will be privy to it. So let's take it a step back. 5, 10 years ago, it was millions that didn't know about Bitcoin. Follow me. It was millions that didn't know about Ripple. It was millions that didn't know about Ethereum, right? That didn't know. And at the beginning, what happened? It was people who got attached to that over and over and over. They got in, they stayed committed, they stayed attached to that goal, that vision. And as a result, 5 years from then, 10 years from then, they can now say what their life is completely different. Do you want to be on the other side, being able to say the same thing 5, 10, 15 years from now? And when I look at this business, I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm attached to $1 billion company, right? $1 billion company. And first and foremost, I'm grateful for all companies that are inside this space, all companies that are inside this industry, or all companies that are even that are even trying to do Forex stuff, this, that, and the fourth. And the reason why I'm grateful for them is because it's a lot of companies that promote the same thing. AT&T, Verizon, Sprint, T-Mobile, etc. Right? And all that does is bring more awareness to that product, to that service, to that industry. But I'm grateful to be a part of this $1 billion company, right? And when I look at I Am Mastery Academy, a $1 billion brand, they dominate because of 1, their attention to detail, right? 2, their production, 3, their leadership, right? 3, their leadership. So today I'm going over a few keys to building, right, $1 billion brand, right? Drop me in the chat if you want to be one of those people that build that, because there's a few things that you need to know. So as we go and we break down I Am Mastery Academy, we're also breaking down your brand as well, because you're on this call because you want to win. You're on this call because you desire to be that chairman 10, to be that chairman 25, to be that chairman 50. Ladies and gentlemen, that doesn't come without a brand, okay? That doesn't come without a brand. So number one, right, to building that $1 billion brand, to building that brand that supersedes you, is attaching yourself, right, to people that are going to put you in position to strengthen the brand. I'm going to take it a while back. I'm going to take it a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. Chris Terry said what? I want to become a $1 billion company. And he brought in a gentleman by the name of who? Right? Gentlemen, several people, right? Two by the name of Kyle Lowe and Brandon Scott, okay? Because they had already done what? Built $1 billion companies. So when you're looking at building, when you're looking at strengthening your brand, you got to move that strategic as well, right? That's strategic as well. 4 years ago, he had a conversation with a gentleman by the name of who? David Monetier, right? Yvonne Tapia, right? Alex Morton, right? Because the people that are attached to you are going to be a representation of your brand. So when I look at Chris Terry now, when I look at the 500 chairmen that we have today, we are all what? A representation of the brand that he was focused on building, right? At the very beginning, who did he get attached to? A gentleman by the name of Garrett Roberts. A gentleman by the name of Garrett Roberts. He said, listen, I'm trying to enter into this space. And the reason why I keep going back is because I need everybody to understand this company once started where you are right now. What do I mean by that? Nobody knew Chris Terry. Nobody knew about IML. Nobody cared about Forex and trading, right? And maybe somebody on this call who feels like, you know what? Nobody cares about the stuff that I post. Nobody cares about the things that I view, right, that I watch. Nobody cares about the videos that I put out there. Nobody cares about my lives. Nobody cares about my content, right? But he did these things to build up his brand. So if you're listening, you want to make sure you're doing the exact same things. He said, listen, Garrett, I want to get inside the network marketing space. I really want to dominate. And Garrett said, if you find me a product and you prove to me that these services work, I will bring you the entire industry. This was 2014. 2021, we're now just about at 500,000 customers strong. 500,000 customers strong. All because number one, he did what? He attached himself to people who are in position to strengthen the brand. So who are you attaching yourself to take this thing to the next level? It doesn't really matter what it looks like, right? It didn't matter that when I joined this business, I had never had $1,000 trading day. It's a lot of people who join. It's a lot of people who get started and they say, oh, I need to have good trading results to have success. I didn't have $1,000 trading day. I didn't have the $25,000 trading days, right? The $12,000, $13,000 plus withdrawals. I didn't have any of that, right? At the very beginning. But I kept doing these things and building brick by brick by brick by brick, right? We had a virtual convention last year. And outside of the people that are in the business, right? Can anybody remember who is somebody that was speaking at the virtual convention that is not inside the company? I want to see who's plugged in, right? At the virtual convention last fall, it was somebody specific who spoke, right? That had not been in the company. It was a name that nobody was familiar with seeing in terms of attached to this company, right? Let me make sure I can find the chat because I want to see who knows what person I'm talking about. Somebody who embodies greatness in what they do. Floyd Mayweather, okay? And when I look at the greats, follow me on this point. When I look at the great athletes, right? When I look at Michael Jordan, Serena Williams, Tiger Woods, endless greats, right? One thing that they all have in common is that they have lost. Phenomenal athletes, right? Michael Phelps, phenomenal, right? Muhammad Ali, phenomenal, right? Kobe Bryant, phenomenal. LeBron James, phenomenal, right? But they all have lost in their respective sport, right? However, the name Floyd Mayweather, when you hear it, he has never lost publicly on TV during his professional career, okay? So I said a little bit earlier, your brand, right, is going to be represented by the people that you attach to it, right? That move Chris Terry made attaches what? A new face that embodies winning. I need you to understand how critical that is. When we're looking at dominating and winning in this industry, he said it's only right if we attach ourselves to somebody who has done nothing less than that, who hasn't lost, who has dominated over and over and over for the last 2 decades. So number one, you got to attach yourself to people who are in position to go ahead and strengthen that brand. Number two, if you want to build a brand that supersedes you, you have to have, and we say this all the time, and people don't really understand, a big vision. This past weekend at the Dream Convention, shout out to my guy Justin Owens, they weren't just talking about, right, the next 12 months. Chris Terry wasn't just talking about the next 3 years. He was talking about the next 5, the next 7, the next 10 years from now, right? The next 5, the next 7, the next 10 years from now. He said that he was going to have a rank that's about to be released that has up to $10 million per month, right? And the reason why brands that win are able to have so much success is because they have visions like that. When I look at Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg had a grand vision. Bitcoin creators, they had a grand vision, okay? A grand vision. Google had a grand vision, right? And if you already know what your vision is, then you're going to have a different posture when you talk to people. If you honestly understood that your brand was $1 billion brand, I'm taking you outside of I Am Mastery Academy. If you understood that who you were, what you represented was worth billions of dollars, you would move differently. You see, in 2015, Christopher Terry, he knew that his brand was worth billions of dollars. So when he talked to a gentleman by the name of Austin Godsey, he had the posture, he had the poise, he had the confidence to tell him what? We have 50,000 members, right? Because he understood what his brand represented, right? Do you understand what your brand represents? If you want to win, if you want to be on that stage like my sisters China and Jewel Beckley, if you want to be on that stage like who else was on there? Rihanna, Sidney Jones, right? DL Kiana Woods, right? You got to understand exactly what it is that your brand represents. So I look at that $10 million a month. I hope y'all really understand what that means, right? Decade passes, you're what? You're a billionaire. Come on. 7 years passes, you're what? You're a billionaire, right? And to really understand that you have $1 billion brand and really understand that you are $1 billion brand, that your brand is going to be here to break generational curses, that your brand is going to be here over and over and over, decade after decade, you got to get comfortable with the idea of money, okay? And I need everybody to really feel this. You got to be comfortable with the idea of money, because money is only going to come where it's welcome, right? And it's only going to stay where it's appreciated. Okay, so $1 billion is money. There's no way around that, right? $1 billion brand, $1 million brand, whatever you're looking to create, that's still attached to money in some way, shape, or form. So you got to get comfortable with that idea if you want it to come into your life, right? I see a lot of people who look at money, right, a lot different than the millionaires and billionaires, and wonder why it's never attracted into their life in large quantities, right? Into their life in large quantities. Wonder why they're never able to get to $100,000 a month, right? $500,000 a month. So you got to actually get comfortable with that idea. Number 3, people who build these brands, they are always seen. Companies who build these brands, they are always seen, right? Justin Owens said, you can not only, it's not enough to let your dreams and your goals motivate you, but you got to let your fears and your nightmares motivate you just as much. Man, right? Let's say I'm somebody who is nervous about being seen. Let's say I'm somebody who is nervous about talking to people. Let's say I'm somebody who is nervous about being heard. Let's say I'm somebody who is nervous about promoting my vision. Let me see what my nightmare is, right? I'm more fearful of my grandmother working a job. I'm more fearful of my father ever sleeping on an office floor again, right? You understand what I'm saying? I am more fearful, right, of not having any working vehicles. A nightmare for me, right, is not being able to provide for my family the way that I want to. So when it comes to this step number 3, you must be seen. Why do we tell people to go live? Why do we tell people to do 30-day challenges? If you want to build a $1 billion brand, people must see you. People must know who you are, right? Chris Terry, he was so adamant in getting a ground, right? Getting troops who were on the ground, right? the chairman, the people that he was bringing into this business to work with him. Why? So they can continue building the vision, and they are always seen. So as a result of them being seen, what happens? I Am Mastery Academy is put on a platform. I Am Mastery Academy is put on a headline, and now the world knows about it. So whatever you are, whatever your vision is, listen, we're lucky to have several brands, right? And we actually got more work to do. I look at Retire 365. As people see our leaders, as people see our successes, it's an extension of this actual brand, right? What is going to be the extension of you and what you represent, right? It's going to be hard to do that if nobody sees you, because if you're somebody who nobody sees and you're looking to go chairman 10, right? And you're looking to go chairman 10, when people join you, what's more than likely going to happen? They won't be seen as well, right? Because they're going to do what you do and not what you say, right? That's why we're live. That's why prior to this, Charles did, 2, 3, 4, 5 lives, right? So people can see him over and over and over and over again, right? But that's the key to actually building a $1 billion brand. And I know some people on this call who really want to take this next thing to the next level. Well, listen, these steps cannot be skipped. I'm fearful, right? I'm not even saying I have a nightmare, right? It's a nightmare for me to be in a position I was 5 years ago. To be in a position I was, well, not even 5. Well, I guess the beginning of 5, 6 years ago, right? So when I look at that, I say, you know what? I got to be doing whatever I need to do. I got to be seen all the time. I got to be heard all the time, right? Because the attitude towards the activity, write this down, is more important than the activity itself. Okay? The attitude towards the activity is more important than the activity itself, right? Number 4, to build a $1 billion brand, to build a brand that supersedes you, right? You must work harder than you would if somebody was giving you a guaranteed check at the end of the week. So for all my people who want to go chairman 10, right? All in favor, say aye. Psych now, drop a 7 in the chat if you desire to go chairman 10 at some point in time in 2021. If you don't want to go chairman 10, awesome. This part really, it's for you, but this question isn't for you, right? So we got the 7. So if I were giving you, what is this? This is bonus week for our people paid in Bitcoin, meaning tomorrow, any chairman 10s, unless they just hit, are going to receive anywhere from $3,500 to $5,000 tomorrow, right? That's what that means, right? Any other week, they're making $2,500. On a week where you get 5 weeks, they're getting $2,000 per week. So if you were getting that $3,500 to $5,000 this Thursday, and you knew that was going to happen, right? Would you do every single thing that your chairman instructed you to do for the week? Yes or yes? The answer is yes for every single person. But the issue that comes, right, and people wonder why they don't build these brands, is because you take away the person that's giving them the guaranteed check, and that work doesn't get done. Their business doesn't get promoted. They're not talking to 10 plus people. They're not showing the plan 4 to 6 times. They're not in touch with their mentor, right? Because they're not getting that physical check, right? And in order to win, you got to be able to work as if somebody was giving you that check. You see, Chris Terry at the beginning, he worked as if somebody was paying him billions. I need y'all to understand what I'm saying. When nobody was here, when people were leaving the business, when people were joking I Am Mastery Academy or IML, because we had a fusion trader that was blowing people accounts, right? Shout out to my guy Optimus Prime. I'll never forget it. People was getting on live, Brexit hit, and woo, house gone, car gone, crib gone, everything gone, right? But he still kept working as if somebody was paying him $1 billion, right? He said, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to become a $1 billion company. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to become a 7-figure company. And in time, that's what happened, right? I'm willing to go into conversations with Austin Gotzi, with Alex Morton, with David Monetier, with nothing to show, with no proof that people will love this company, with no proof that we're going to set people free, right? I'm willing to get up. I'm willing to show up every single day. Y'all don't know, at the beginning, there were no Go Live educators. Chris Terry was the educator. Follow me. Chris Terry was the person getting on live and trading with the company. Now y'all see hundreds, thousands of people that are now educating. He was that person, right? Don't get it twisted. He's a 9-figure trader. He's a 9-figure trader. Follow what I'm saying, right? Y'all see now, I know everything from the very beginning. From the very beginning. He was, right? He was the product. He was the service. You had the harmonic scanner, which was actually on the computer. Shout out to the harmonic scanner that you had to install on your computer. Some of y'all will never know what that means, right? Y'all might see it and not even know what we're talking about, right? They're like, man, did I install it correctly? But look, that's what we was doing, right, back in the day. But he was willing to go through that. He was willing to act as if somebody was paying him $1 billion in 2014. Now, right? Now his company is about to be what? $1 billion company. So you want to get the chairman 10. You got to be willing to work as if I'm giving you $2,500 every week, as if Charles giving you $2,500 every week, right? As if Jaleesa is giving you $2,500 every single week, as if the company is paying you $3,500 every third week or fourth week of the month, right? Third week if you're on Pay Lucian, Pay Quicker, right? Fourth week if you're Bitcoin, right? But you got to be able to work as if you're getting that, right? Before you go to sleep, you know if you put in that work. When Sunday comes, you know, right? If you're about to fill out your DMO, come on now. It's some people who think about the DMO and don't fill it out, right? But get on the call the next week and scream Chairman 10. Y'all not following me. Y'all not following me. Well, I think about what if I would have stopped when the results were not coming in 2014, in 2015, in 2016, right? When I first started saying top 5 lifestyle at the end of all my posts, right? And people would laugh, boy, who do you think you are, right? Now nobody's laughing unless it's on the way to the bank. What if I would have stopped 6 years ago? What if I would have stopped 5 years ago, right? I need y'all to understand what I'm saying right now. You got to work as if you're getting paid what it is that you see, right? And then number 5, and I'm really going to harp on this point because this, in my opinion, is the most important. You got to be committed. You got to be committed to seeing this thing all the way through. I was committed in seeing my brand all the way through when nobody knew who I was, when 2 people were liking my post, when people would scroll, see my post, keep scrolling. I was committed to seeing this thing all the way through. It's a gentleman by the name of Jeff Roberti. Does anybody know who Jeff Roberti is? Right? If no, drop no. If yes, drop yes. I'm pretty sure nobody on this call knows who Jeff Roberti is. Okay. Jeff Roberti is a network marketer, and he's been in the industry for 35 years. Okay. And over the last 35 years, he's made $85 million. And he's been with the same company for the last 32 years. So I see that and I say, wow, that's 32 years of business. Okay. And I'm only in year 3 with this company. So what starts to happen with me? I start to stretch my thinking. I start to stretch my belief, right? I start to stretch my thoughts. Listen, I'm in year 3, right? We're coming up to about $500,000 made inside this company since we started, right? And this is only year 3. So come year 30, come year 32, what exactly would life look like? What exactly would the bank account look like? And a lot of people fail is because they never do that. All they focus on is where they're at today, right? All they focus on is what's not going right at this point in time, right? I said committed to seeing this thing all the way through. I didn't stop in 2014 and 2015 when things weren't adding up how I wanted to. Chris Terry didn't, Justin Owens didn't stop when his car was breaking down, right? When his car was breaking down, when he pulled out those jumper cables, I felt him. I felt him. I felt him. I remember having to jump my car every time before I used it. Every time before I used it, right? And what if he would have stopped back then? What if Austin Godsey would have stopped when he was eating out of dumpsters, right? What if he would have stopped back then? So committed to seeing this thing all the way through. So many people, they get deterred in month 6. What? In month 3. In the 5th week, you know what, man, I thought I would have been seeing a little more results than this. And, you know, I don't think this is going to work. Awesome. Awesome. I hope you make $10 million a month wherever you go next. I really do. Right? I really do. Right? I really do. And over the weekend, Riyadh, tell my brother Riyadh, he said something that was so phenomenal. He said, you got to be committed to falling in love with the process. And come on, you're not going to see this thing through unless you're in love with this process. There's a lot of people who it may sound good, but until they fall in love, it'll never happen. So what must I fall in love with, Paris? Right? You got to fall in love with getting better. You got to fall in love with progressing, right? You got to be willing to go through the process and get to the promise that was already promised for you. Because you see, where you're at right now, right? You're not in this process, you're not on a journey to see what could be. You're on a journey to get what's already yours. But if you don't fall in love with the process, you'll never get it. I'm going to say that again. This journey is not to see what could happen, right? It's not to see what may happen, right? If you give this thing a try. No, whatever you see in your mind, that vision that God placed in your spirit, right? It's a journey to see what you will have. All you got to do is see it all the way through. All Chris had to do was see it all the way through. He knew. Elon Musk, he knew. Tesla, SpaceX will be multi-billion-dollar companies. He knew that. But all he had to do was see it the way through. Hey, Elon, what are you going to do? If you put this much money into this company, it may live. If you split it between both, they're both probably going to die, right? But Elon saw this thing all the way through. What is the company committed to? 1,000 chairmen. What is a new thing that David's committed to, right? 100 chairman 750s committed. So what's going to happen? We're seeing this thing all the way through because guess who was committed? The creators of Bitcoin. Guess who was committed? Creator of Facebook. Guess who was committed? Right? Creators of Google. Guess who was committed? The creators of Amazon, right? And if you knew like I knew, you would know that in its own right, I Am Mastery Academy is Bitcoin. I Am Mastery Academy, right, is Facebook. I Am Mastery Academy is Amazon, right? I Am Mastery Academy is Google, right? Come on now, let's think about how the people feel who are a part of something, right? Who left, then they see it blow up, right? Let's think about the people, right, who don't even become a part and then watch it take off, right? But I'm gonna take it a step further. I'm gonna take it a step further. A feeling that's worse than all of that is being a part of something, then 5 years later, being in the same place, all because you weren't committed to falling in love with the process, all because you weren't committed, right, to doing what you needed to get what you want. Well, Paris, what is commitment? Commitment is staying loyal to what you said you would do long after the mood has left you, right? Long after the mood you set it in has left you. Commitment is staying loyal to what you said you would do long after the mood you set it in has left you. You see, I know that for most people, for 97, 98% of people, they will go to an event, a convention such as a dream convention, right? One of the best conventions ever. They will go to a convention like that. But I know that the mood they said most of the stuff that they wanted to do, right? That mood that they were in, that energy, that feeling that they had, that they were in when they were in that event will leave them. I know this, okay? I know this. Come on now. And to build $1 billion brand, you got to be committed. You got to fall in love. In that mood, that feeling, those emotions will leave, especially if they're not committed to keeping themselves in that atmosphere, right? To keeping themselves in that atmosphere. And when it does leave, right, what are you going to do? Because it's a lot of people over the years. We've gone through events, right? The same things have happened. They've jumped around, they've screamed, they've cried, but they're no longer here because they couldn't stay committed to the process. They're no longer here because they were not completely in love. When you're in love with something, you will not stop. You will not stop at all. You will not stop. In all aspects of life, when you are in love with something, you will not stop. You will not stop. I love the freedom that my grandmother has. As a result, I will never stop. It don't matter what happened. It don't matter what it looked like. I will never stop. Why? Because I am committed, right? I am committed. I could stop when my first chairman left. It don't matter. That did what? Made room for the new. Because when somebody leaves, what happens? Somebody better is coming. When people leave, what happens? More of better people are coming. I understood that, so I stayed committed to doing what I needed to do. I stayed committed to running the play that was given to me and having impeccable execution. Impeccable execution, right? You see, when people see the comp plan, all you see is what? The glitz, the glamours, right? All you see is what? The $750,000 a month, the $10,000 a month. But what you don't see is the work it takes during that process. What you don't see is the person you got to become to get there. What you don't see are the events you must go to win. What you don't see is what? The fact that you got to be teachable and coachable. You got to have humility to the point of obedience towards your mentor in order to win, right? What you don't see is that you're going to have to listen to the personal development. You're going to have to read the books to get to the next level, right? So the fact that I saw the glitz and glamour, right, and I didn't see everything else, when I realized that was the case, I had to do what? Stay committed through the entire process, seeing it all the way through, right? And I had to do that no matter what the past says. People leave this business, right? And I said this is the most important point. People leave this business. People never win. People never get to that next level. Why? Because they're not committed to moving forward. One thing you got to be committed to is progression. And if you focus on the past, if you revisit the past will show up in the future. And that cycle will happen over and over and over and over again, right? So people say, Paris, it's a year later. Why isn't my business moving, right? It's 2 years later. Why am I not progressing, right? Because you still lived in the past. You stayed in the past, right? It sounded good when you were at the events. It sounded good in the chats on the call, but you still focused on what wasn't going right inside your business. You still focused on what wasn't going right in your life. Well, I'm doing this, right? Well, I got this going on. Get out and go sit in that car. Get out and go sit in that house. Get out and get to the event so you can be in the environment of people who have every single thing that you want. But when you get so stuck in what's going on in life, it'll never happen, right? When you get so caught up in what's not going right, you will never do those things. Just as said, my car broke down. I went and did what? I went to the Bentley dealership and sat in the Bentley and took a picture of it because I had to continuously remind myself of what was coming. You see, he was committed to continuously having that environment because he knew that was what he needed to win. Out of the 4 steps of building your belief system, the 4th step is the experiences. He knew I needed that experience to continue focusing on that, even while my car wasn't starting. Even while I can only spend $5.52 on gas, I feel him, right? Hey, let me get 323 on pump 6. Appreciate you, right? I feel him, right? But we can't get stuck on that, okay? You can't get stuck on that, right? So you gotta be committed to that, right? And man, when I look at how everything is paid off, right? Everything is paid off over the last 5 years, how I'm able to be known, how I'm able to be seen, how I'm able to have success and results in what it is that I do. These steps are what have allowed me to do this. These are things that I do all the time, right? I'm always seen, right? I'm always partnering with people, right? I'm always committed, right? I'm always working as if somebody was handing me a check at the end of the week, right? I'm always speaking a very big vision. I'm always speaking a very big vision, right? What year is this? 2021. By 2025, remember this conversation. By 2025, this movement will have created minimum 100 7-figure earners by 2025. And I need you all to really understand what I'm saying. I think back to everything that we said in that group chat, to everything that we said in that group chat 4 years ago. And I think it's only 3 to 4 people from that group chat still here. And everything we said is already marked off the list, right? I think back to those times, and I think back to everything that transpired afterwards, right? I need y'all to understand how simple this actually is. I wasn't a master trader, but attracted one because of what I spoke out of my mouth, right? A millionaire that's now about to be chairman 25. I need y'all to understand the same thing that I did, the same thing that David's done, the same thing that Justin's done, the same thing that Charles done, the same thing that Chris Terry has done. You can do the exact same thing, right? You can do it as well. But the question is, will you, right? We can get on this call and tell you the question is, will you, right? It may be some people that life is not looking how they want it, right? Before the week ends, go to your dream house or go to a house that resembles that, right? Go to the car that you want, one of the others, and get inside of it. If it's an open house, go sit inside of it, right? Or go to the dealership and get inside the car, right? If you can't get inside the house, drive by. Put yourself in that neighborhood. Put yourself in that environment. I was broke. I wanted to live in the city. Didn't have no money. I wanted to live in the city. So what did I do? I drove through the city. And then as a result, what happened 18 months later? I lived in the city. Simple, right? Simple. D.L. Woods, he was in a jet. 90 days later, he was a seven-figure earner, right? He's now one of the few million-dollar traders on the platform, right? But he had that experience. This stuff is real. This stuff is real. Why do we say get in events? Your subconscious does not know that it wasn't you on stage. Your subconscious doesn't know that it was me talking and not you. But because you were in that environment, you had the experience. What next experience do you need? This weekend, Chairman Bootcamp, your Charles Dyson, Mr. Kingdom Cash, leaderboard leader, right? YouTube superstar will be speaking. You must be there, right? It's one thing to hear these things to build a brand. It's another thing to actually do them. Buy your ticket, drop it today. If somebody can, drop the ticket, the link for me in the chat. It's already in Discord. Get your tickets, be there today, right? What are we doing after that? May 8th, Skills Camp, Atlanta, Georgia. Be there. July, Believe Nation, right? Event. Be there. I'm telling you all, we're going to run this thing up. 100 people making seven figures. First, we're going step by step. 50 Travelpreneurs is done. And we're going to continue building, right? Until it's minimum 100 plus seven-figure earners inside this business, inside this organization. And then we're going to take this thing to the next level. Listen, life within the next 5 years can look a lot different for you if you believe. Because everybody who believed in Tesla at the beginning, they're winning. Everyone who believed in Bitcoin at the very beginning, they're winning. Everyone who believes in the Dyson legacy at the very beginning, I promise you, you're going to be winning in a major fashion. Get inside that test group. Platinum 150, 3 people, done. Charles is going live tonight, right? Close the people. It's done. Make sure you don't miss out on what's about to happen, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you don't miss out on what's about to happen. Fall in love with this thing. I'm in love with this process. I'm going to be here forever. And as a result, I'm going to be winning forever, right? Because as people come, people go, right? As the new people come, what happens over that time? I continue to get better. I look at the people who've left. I look at the new people who's came. Over the last few years, I'm still here. I'm still getting better. I ain't left. I ain't stopped. Haven't gone anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. And I want you to be able to look back 5 years from now and say, wow, because I stayed in it, I've now made $1 million in this company. Because I stayed in it, I've now made multiple hundreds of thousands. Because I stayed in it, I've made multiple millions. And I got an organization, right, where 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 people have cleared almost $500,000, right? I look at my earnings inside the back office, right? Glory be to God. And I say, you know what? I'm going to have a plethora of people who have a back office looking just like this, right? A plethora of people who are having $10,000 paydays from the company, a plethora of people who are getting $5,000 every third week from the company, a plethora of people that have $1 million in their earnings in the back office, right? I believe it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. I'm committed to it happening. We're so happy and grateful for everybody that's a part of this movement. We're happy and grateful for everybody that's no longer a part of this movement as well. Everything that's happened did not happen to us, but it happened for us. Ladies and gentlemen, I promise you, if you take these things that I said, you apply it, you will have a $1 billion brand. If you haven't, you need to be seen. Let people see, let people hear what is going to happen for you and your brand. So Charles, again, I love you. I appreciate you, my brother. Everything you've done, everything you do continuously for the organization, it definitely does not go unnoticed. Paris Simmons checking out. I will see you on top of the moon because the sky is never the limit. Apply these steps and let's get ready to win in a massive fashion. Love y'all, and I will check you all tomorrow on the morning motivation. Y'all be blessed and have a wonderful night. Let's get it.